Yeah, and I actually had a football of all the Coventry players that played in the final.
Did you?
Signed football, and then we used to play football with it because we were
Was it
10.
signed as
So,
in properly
well, I was
signed, or
10.
was it signed as
Yeah,
in
signed.
printed?
Yeah, as in biro, as in written in biro.
Oh,
I
wow.
remember the
Okay.
ball.
Here we go. Welcome to the Pompey podcast with Mike and Dan. Hello, Dan.
Hello.
Hello.
All right.
And this is, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. You recovered from Friday night. You had the terrible game.
Mm.
Well, this is the preview for this weekend's Coventry game at Fratton Park. Would you like to know how we've done previously against Coventry?
Oh, yes, please.
Yes, I will tell you. We have played them a total of 46 times.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not much.
Not much. We've won 17 of those. We've drawn 10 and lost 19. So it's close.
Yeah.
It's close. Last time round, do you remember last time round? League One, a couple of seasons back, 1920 season. There was a
Probably
nice
a
little
couple of draws.
free draw at Fratton Park in that season. There's remember that one? And a defeat at the Bruce Rico Arena, or whatever it's called. Arena. So yes, that's how we're doing against them. But it's kind of fairly evenish. Last 6 games, 1-2, lost 2, drawn 2 against Coventry. So yeah, even Stevens.
Yes.
What can you tell us about Coventry as a club?
Well, as a club, so Coventry City were formed as Singers FC in 1883. Yes, following a general meeting of the Singer Gentlemen's Club.
Okay.
They adopted the name of Coventry City in 1898 and joined the Southern League in 1908 before being entered into the Football League in 1919. Their home shirts are either completely or predominantly sky blue, hence the nickname Sky Blues. However, in past seasons, different home colours were worn. For example, in 1889, the Singers FC wore pink and blue halved shirts. Sounds nice.
Okay.
For 106 years, 1899 to 2005, Coventry City played where, Mike? Where did they play?
Until when, sorry?
Until 2005.
Oh, that was at Highfield Road, wasn't it?
Highfield Road, yes. And then they've been at the Coventry Arena since 2005. 32,000 capacity. Honours, just the one major honour, which is the
87 Cup final.
87 Cup final. My favourite FA Cup final, that is.
Yeah, it's
so
great.
I was 10, and I always remember that cup final. And
10, Dan.
I was 10.
That would make you well into your 40s, surely.
Exactly.
Not.
Yeah.
With such a youthful appearance.
I remember that team well. Dave Bennett, Mickey Chin,
Keith Houchin,
Brian,
Gary Mabbott,
Brian
Spurs.
Kilcline. Yeah, and I actually had a football of all the Coventry players that played in the final.
Did you?
Yeah, signed football, and then we used to play football with it because we were.
Was
10,
it signed as in properly signed, or was it signed as in
signed?
printed?
Yeah, as in biro, as in written in biro.
Oh wow!
I remember
okay.
the ball. Yeah,
How did
and
you
then
do
we
that,
played football. My nan used to know someone that had some sort of affiliation to Coventry. So
you used to play football and just rub off all the FA Cup finals.
Yeah. So wish I still had that, but yeah, I remember that FA Cup very well. They were the good FA Cup finals. Those hot, really good games, weren't they? But yeah, anyway, sounded like a boomer.
And then didn't they go out to Sutton United the following year when they were cup holders and they went out to Sutton United? I seem to remember.
Yeah, that's right. They 2-1. What was his name? The bloke that scored.
Steve.
Tim Bazaglo. Was it Tim?
Oh yeah.
No, was it? Or was that?
I don't know.
No, that's something. He scored a hat trick for Woking or something. What was his name? I can't remember anyway. Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go.
All right. Sweet. Do you know who their manager is?
Yeah, Frankie L, isn't it?
Frank Lampard. Former Chelsea, West Ham, and England. Can we call him legend? Nah, let's not call him legend. I suppose he's a Chelsea legend.
He's a legend. He's a legend.
I guess he is. He's a record goal scorer for Chelsea, isn't he?
Yeah.
Record goal scorer, and I think he's the highest goal scoring midfielder, Premier League midfielder, isn't he? If I remember rightly, 106 England caps. How many goals for England? Do you remember?
106 caps. Oh, 53. No, 42.
53. Ooh,
42.
not quite. No, 29
Oh,
goals.
was that all? I thought he scored lots more
Yeah.
than that.
Not quite. Formerly managed me, of course, and Chelsea for a little period, which I thought he actually did all right when he was under that transfer ban. He did okay at Chelsea, didn't he? But then didn't seem to know what to do when he had money to spend. He also managed Everton and took over at the end of November at Coventry. So far, this will be his 5th game at Fratton Park. He's won 2, lost 1, drawn 1 so far. So not a bad start, really, is it, for Lamps at Coventry?
Doing all right.
Who they got on the pitch to watch
You
out
got
for?
to watch out for. Well, I've just looked at the. Whilst
Dave
I was
Bennett,
obviously listening
Keith
to you, I was
Houchin.
I was looking at the Sutton that scored. I don't remember their names, but yeah, it was 2-1. Anyway, yeah. So players wise, there's a few attacking players that I've picked out. Hadji Wright, American forward, he's scored 23 and 59 since he joined last season. He's got 7 in 15 this season, so pretty good. Efron Mason Clark, which we know from Peterborough.
Yep.
Signed from Peterborough in February this year, stayed on loan at Peterborough at the end of last season. He's got 2 goals in 17. And Ellis Sims, striker, he's got 15 in 60. He's only got 2 in 17 this season, so he's not prolific, but can always cause us problems, can't he? Yeah. And do you want to know some famous fans? Steve Beaton. Do you know Steve Beaton, the Adonis of darts?
Steve Beaton?
Yeah, no. They call him the Adonis of darts, Mike. If you'd ever see him, just because he's the least ugly darts player. Yeah.
Okay.
So they make out he's an Adonis. So yeah.
What's his name? Steve Beaton.
Steve Beaton. Yeah, look him up. Early days, he had a big old tash and perm.
Oh yeah.
Sexy, isn't he?
Yeah, it looks a bit like should have played for Liverpool in the 80s.
Yeah. Tom Grennan. Bog standard,
yes,
current musician. Brian McFadden of
Brian
Westlife
McFadden.
fame.
Okay.
Yeah. And hairy misogynist Richard Keys.
Say hairy misogynist.
Yeah, he's very hairy, isn't he, Richard Keys? Yeah.
Do you ever seen that clip of Richard Keys where it's off camera and he's talking to Jamie Redknapp? I imagine Redknapp was hanging out the back of her. Hanging out the back of her, I imagine.
That's why I called him hairy misogynist, Richard Keys.
Yeah. Horrendous man. Okay, so let's have a look at their recent form. Very identical. It's either identical, it's not. Very similar to Portsmouth. In their last 6 games, won 2, lost 2, drawn 2. Just a slightly worse goal difference than Pompey over that period. So Portsmouth, despite their 4-0 loss to Derby, in the last 6 games, are actually mid-table in the form table with 8 points from those 6 games, as do Coventry. Last time out, they beat Hull 2-1. Not a massive feat to beat Hull at the moment, is it? Considering Hull haven't won in 10 games. And I think they've lost the majority of those, so they are rock bottom of the league. Thoughts on the game, Dan? What's the score going to be? Is it going to be a return to form or going to be unhappy days?
Well, I was looking at their results, Coventry. They've had some poor ones like us, haven't they? But they've also had some not bad results. They beat Luton, didn't they? I mean, it's not great. But I can't get rid of this.
I'll do the same.
I think,
bit of Bob Fleming.
As we're at home, as we're at home, then we've got to go for the win, haven't we? Got to say us for a win. Yeah.
I think we'll concede, though. I think we'll concede, and I'm going to go 2-1.
I'll go 2-0 then.
2-0. Good. What do you think the score will be this weekend at Fratton Park? It's 12:30 kickoff, isn't it? This weekend.
It is.
Early one. So what do you think the score will be? Put your score prediction in the comments, and why not pop any other comments you want to put in there if there's anything you'd like to say. Next week, as of next week, we're going to start having a little comment section on our review. So pop your comments in there and let us know what you think of the podcast. Let us know what you think of Portsmouth so far. Who do you think we should buy in January? Because we need to buy or loan. Who do you think we should get rid of? Definitely. How do you think Mousinho's doing so far? Anyway, pop your comments in. It's at Pompey Pod on all of the socials and at YouTube, and also on all your audio devices as well. We have been the Pompey Pod. Play Up Pompey. Goodbye.
Bye.